Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, August 8th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update and we should be good. We're running a little late, so I'm going to go ahead and just zoom past everything real quick. So just give me a few moments to finish updating everything here and we should be good to go. So a couple of things here. Good. It looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right. So I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And I'm going to go ahead and start marking up areas of liquidity over here. Hey, Shiv, morning. Morning, Daniel. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, August 8th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to start marking liquidity here on the weekly time frame. Let's start off with this right here. You got that level right there, there, and there. Go down to the daily level right there. Down to the 8-hour. There's actually a lot of levels that are just pending and waiting right here. Looks like. I think sentiment's still bullish right now, so we'll see. We're gonna take some buys here today. But there is liquidity on both sides for the most part. Good. Here goes the 1 hour. Let's go down to the 30-minute. Change it to red. These are now low level liquidities. $15. And the 10-minute. Sorry, guys. There goes the liquidity marked up. Let me go back to the 1 minute here. So as you guys can see, price is pretty much boxed in right now. There's a low level liquidity on the bottom and a low level liquidity on the top. So Martha asked about this yesterday. Let me see if Martha's here right now. Yeah, so Martha asked about this yesterday. She was asking, when would I go for a 100 pip TP or 300 pip TP? These are low level liquidities right here. I'll have to look at bias, but for the most part, these are low level. So I probably only go for 100 pips at these levels right here. On top of that, price isn't really moving too directional. So in a situation like this, I would probably look for a 100 pips versus 300 pips because for one, it's low level liquidity. And for two, it doesn't look like there's very much volatility The ATR right now is currently at 9, so it's a bit slow. So in this situation, yeah, I'd only go for like about 100 pips or so. Other than that, let's take a look at the overall direction of price. You can see over here on the short time frames, it is bearish neutral. You can see the 1 minute over here is bullish. It's above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. 5 minute here is bearish, 10 minutes bearish because price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. Over here on the higher time frames, you can see price is a bit bearish neutral as well. So the 4 hour over here is below the pivots, trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. 1 hour over here, price is below the pivots, trend meter is currently blue and the pivots are angling down. And here on the 30 minute, you can see that price is below the pivots, trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. So with that said, you can see that we have an overall bearish neutral bias here with regard to the trend. Looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 74% short, so it's not as strong as it typically was before, but it is still bullish here. So with that said, there's a mixed bias, right? Trend is bearish neutral. Sentiment here is bullish neutral, or it's more on the bullish side, full on the bullish side. And then looking over here at the fundamentals are currently unchanged right now until market opens. So market's going to open in about 30 seconds. When the market opens over here, we'll see if there's any opportunity for us to take any entries here. So we will see where this ends up going. For today, I'm going to try to set my I'm going to try to test out the group trading that I tried to do before. So let me see if I go to manage groups. Let me see which group is 5, 57, 61. All right, so let's see the liquidity again. So you can see over here, liquidity just got hit on the top end, guys. I don't know if anybody caught it. I didn't catch the move, so obviously I'm not going to count it, but top level right there just got hit. If you guys caught it. Morning, Randy. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Dan. Morning, James. Morning, Maria. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Stern. Morning, Marston. Morning, Kenny. Morning, CJ. Morning, Casey. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So market is now open. As you guys can see right here, I marked up liquidity. If you guys saw that upper level liquidity right there, you guys could have taken it for a quick 100 pips. It went straight to TP right there. Then it came right back down. So again, this is what I was talking about earlier with Martha's question from yesterday's mentoring session. If you feel like taking the trade here, you go for 100 pips versus the 300, because for one, it's low level liquidity. And then on top of that, it's mixed bias right now. You can see over here, the fundamentals are currently down 200 points. Retail sentiment's currently 74% short, so it's bullish right here. And the trend is currently bearish neutral. So not really too much of a direction here. It looks like the lower level is probably going to get hit too, but we'll see what happens in the next couple moments or so. So I'm going to go ahead and mark up today's, let me just copy it across. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment, bullish. The long-term price will probably go up, but probably not at this very specific moment. Fundamental bias is bearish. Negative 200 points, short term. Technicals, bearish neutral. Long-term technicals, bearish neutral. So there's not really much of a bias today. It's pretty mixed for the most part, but it's not really a big deal for us because we can still look for entries here. So let me go ahead and mark up opening price, which is going to be red candle right there. Go over here to the clean chart. 6:30, 8 o'clock, opening price. Right there. Let me see if there was any news this morning. So let's see over here. So there's news at 5:30. It was trade balance, and then we have news at 7 o'clock. So we got news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. And then there was news over there at 5:30, trade balance. All right, so it looks like that's pretty much it for today. I don't see anything else here. News at 7, and that's pretty much it. Got a red book at 5:55. I guess I can mark that up too. Red book at 5:55. Right next to it. All right, so as you guys can see, price just keeps going back and forth right here. There's not really much of a direction. Realistically, price is just ranging right now. So we'll come back and we'll see where we can start looking for any possible entries here. I'll start marking up the levels so that you guys can see where price bounces from. So 90, 300, 310, 20, 30, 40, 80, 70, 60. All right, so we got the levels marked up right here. Obviously, we're not going to look for any entries just yet, but we do have a bit of levels right there marked up right now specifically. So we'll wait until the market starts to choose its direction. There's obviously no direction right here as price continues to bounce around. There goes the lower level of liquidity right there. Just got hit, full TP. So if you guys are taking these liquidity pushes, both of them just got hit. First one on top got hit, lower level right here just got hit. Next level down below. As I mentioned, if you ever go for these liquidity pushes, go for the first one. Don't go for two at a time. Go for one, let it retrace, and then go for the next one. Looks like this one over here hit too, but I wouldn't have taken it right away. So all my levels of liquidity here just got hit. Upper level here got hit on open. Lower level just got hit right here on both sides. If you guys took any of them, 100 pips, full TP. I didn't take any of the trades here. I think the market is a little bit risky right now how it's moving because there's not really much of an overall direction. I mean, you can be trading sells based off fundamentals and technicals. You can take buys based off retail sentiment. Right now, there's just not really much of an alignment, as you can see over here with regard to the overall bias. So I'm just waiting right now, waiting for the market to stabilize, choose a direction. Once it chooses a direction, I'm gonna start looking for entries. What I'm really trying to do here is I'm trying to set up my group trading on, let's see what's up with this, dude. So 5-7 is my main account, 6-1 is my other account. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to try group trading here on Top Step. I haven't tried it before, but I'll try it. To see how this works. Yeah, no, I've never tried it before, so I'll try. Yeah, I might have to use a DOM for this. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's tried the group trading function, but I guess we'll find out here. Um, once we have an entry. So once we have a setup here, because the thing is, I have two Top Step accounts, like I opened two, and I haven't been using the second one, and I'm starting to get charged on that one. So I need to use it. So I'm gonna try the group trading function here, and I'm gonna see if I can, maybe try to get it to work. I'm gonna trade directly on Tradeovate. So the trades are still gonna show up on my trading view, but I'm not gonna be able to set like a pending, or I mean, I think I can set a pending order, but I can't set any TP stop loss. There's no bracket orders that are allowed. So I just have to manually close out once it hits a TP. So yeah, once we have an opportunity for that, I will mark it up and I'll have to just manually close it out. There's a possible entry right here that just came up actually. I'm not sure if anybody saw this, but there's one right here that is currently running. I mean, it looks like it already hit TP at this point. Entry would have happened right here. Yeah, this would have already hit TP. Right there. So it's fine. It was a little too early for entry, so I would have waited for a little bit more of a confirmation. But this here would have been one entry. So like, for example, price came down, retrace right there, entry been at this level, went into some drawdown, and then came right back down to full TP. I'm gonna wait for it to so I'll give you guys a rundown of what I'm looking for now. So I'm looking for a buy signal here to confirm the retracement, and I'm looking for another sell signal to confirm the continuation. And then from there, I'm going to write it down further. So I was just marking this. I was just telling you guys that there was an entry here that came up. Obviously, I didn't take it, but I'm going to be looking for the next one. Nice. Rick caught it. James caught it. Kenneth got the liquidity earlier. Solid. Sure, Sisu. Yeah, if you know a way to do it, just, you can let me know. We'll talk about it later, but I don't think there is a way. Bracket orders are allowed for managed groups on Tradeovate. Unless you're talking about NinjaTrader, you might be talking about NinjaTrader, which is completely different. But I've looked everywhere. There's no way to do it necessarily, because what happens is when you use the managed groups, what happens is you put like a full order of, like, say for example, there's a max limit, right, of like 15 contracts. So like what you do is you put 30 orders in there, and then what happens is that it copies over to like pretty much every like 30 orders will fill, and then they'll just get distributed across all the accounts for 2 accounts, 15 each. And then when you close it, you can't put a bracket order, but you can't put a 30 order bracket, right? You have to like, I mean, what you might be referring to is maybe you can put like a pending order for itself for like 30 contracts. Maybe that's what you're talking about, Sisu. But I don't know. We'll talk about it later. I think it might just be easier for me to manually close anyways, because I can just hit the exit at market and cancel all button once it gets to a certain, price point. Let me see if I could figure out. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you can let me know a little later, once we get down to that point. I'm going to try to figure out how can I set a pending order here for even for the DOM, it's weird. So I tried over here, I try to put multi-bracket orders, and it says not supported in group. I'm assuming we could put a pending order though. Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, and we'll talk about that a little later. Hopefully that works, because if it does, that'd be great. I mean, if not, yeah, I'm gonna try to put a pending order up here. I'm gonna see if it actually places it. Let's see, we're 35,320. Price will probably not get to that point anytime soon. Let's see if I can put a pending order there. Where it doesn't work. It says multi-bracket. Now I'm trying to figure out how do I even insert order at this point, unless I got to do it manually. Yeah, C6, do you see where it says join and ask? Yeah. So do I click on that for Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I have my ATM already like preset there. So when I enter the trade, is it automatically going to set? Perfect. Okay, so I'll set it up like that, and we'll see if it ends up setting. Do you know how to put a pending order on here? Yeah, mine's set to 1025. So I mean, we'll try it out. Hopefully this works, Yusuf. If this works, then for sure this is gonna be a game changer. Yeah, do you know how to put a pending order though? You have to put it on the chart, right? Okay, I see it. Sell limit at a certain price point. Okay, so hopefully this works, Yusuf. If this works, then you're definitely a lifesaver. Because this is like the main problem with the group trading that I had on Tradeovate was that I was always worried because I wouldn't be able to get out of the position. Here, let me see. I'm gonna put a C6. You know how I don't sleep at night, right? C6 figured it out. Yeah, no, C6 a little wizard. All right, let me check this real quick. I'm gonna put a pending order up here. It doesn't work. Do you know how to put a pending order, CC, in group mode? Because if I try to put a pending order here, like I set a limit of 30 contracts at a certain price point, say at like 35,340, it says multi-bracket orders are not supported in group mode. I don't know if that's because of the ATM. Let me check the pen real quick. Yeah, CC, it doesn't work, the ATM button. So I just tried, right? I turned it off and I can put a pending order on here. So I'm going to try to put a pending order right here at the 20 mark. So you guys can see I have a sell limit right there. Then I cancel it all. So it doesn't work. You can't put bracket orders on that, CC. Because that's the same way I put in the order ticket. So yeah, that option doesn't work. It's fine though, guys. So what I'm gonna have to do here is I'm gonna have to enter. I could enter with limit order, but then I'm gonna have to close out manually. I know it's kind of a hassle, kind of risky, but I'll just have to follow through and then I'll just manually close out once it gets to my TP here on TradingView. So yes, unfortunately it doesn't work. I've tried that before. I was hoping your solution would work, but it doesn't, unfortunately. Yeah, it's all good. Thanks for the insight though, Sisu, because that would have been great if it worked. All right, anyways, guys, there's no entries for us right now. Price is still dropping quite a bit. As you guys can see, all the levels of liquidity here already got hit. If you guys took any of these levels that I marked up, I marked all these up pre-market. You guys would have made profit on every single trade. This buy here, this sell here, and this other sell right here. All of them pretty much full TPs. Other than that, there's no other levels of, actually, there's some more levels down here. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. If price continues to drop lower, this is going to be the next level of liquidity down here. And then you'll have some higher levels of liquidity down there as well. Other than that, I'm just looking for a buy signal here to come up so that we can start looking for a possible continuation back to the downside. And once we get that, we can start looking for possible entry. So right now it's just a waiting game. You can see over here on the lower time frame, it's now bearish. You can see the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute prices below the pivots. Trend meter is red, pivots are angling down. Same with the higher time frames over here. So we actually have a bearish bias right now for the most part. It's bearish on the short term, it's bearish on the long term. The only difference here is retail sentiment, which is kind of high right now. All right, it's at 73 now. It still hasn't really changed too much. This price continues to move along. So again, guys, if you guys are just joining the room, or if you guys didn't hear what I was mentioning earlier, there's this copy. There's like a copier for Tradeovate. I have 2 accounts with Top Step. I haven't used my second account because I've just been trading on one. And I haven't been really taking too many trades. So I think my main focus for today would probably be my Top Step. I'm going to try to enter and use the copier. It's just going to be hard because I don't know if I'll be able to enter my trades on MT4. But for today, I just need to focus on this because I got to try and pass these accounts so I won't keep getting charged on these here. So once I get this copier thing down, I'll explain it to you guys and then it'll be easy for everyone to just use. Because I don't think it's very difficult. It's just riskier because you can't put a pending order like we normally do. All right, price is still dropping. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for the retracement, guys. You guys can see prices coming down right here. I'm looking for price to retrace up with the buy signal. Come back down, retrace, and continue down lower. And that's where I'm going to be looking to take my sells. ATR right now is pretty high. It's currently at 21 points, so it's pretty decent right now. It's solid. I really just have to wait for confirmation here. All right, we got some profit over here from Kenny. Kenny took the liquidity push earlier, total profit of 840 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So solid profits right there from Kenny. Let's see, Chrissy said, happy trading. Everyone won't be able to trade today because she's graduating. Nice. Congrats, Chrissy. Congrats to Chrissy over here graduating. So we'll see you back here tomorrow then. We got Maddie over here, total profit of 730 for the day. All wins on his Top Step account. Looks like Maddie over here took the liquidity push as well. So nice work right there, Maddie. And other than that, that's about it. Yeah, CSIC mentioned earlier, today's Trap Tuesday. That's another thing to keep in mind. So if you guys were looking at the market last night during Asia session, sentiment was actually like it was like 85%. So it dropped a lot during London session, Asia into London session. So, I mean, that's another reason why I don't like trading during Asia, because a lot of random stuff can happen. There was also some news with China. They're exporting did not meet expectations. It was actually a lot lower than expected. There's breaking news with CNBC last night. So that's kind of what caused the drop to start to happen. So you can see over here, the market was actually going up, and then the news from China happened right here during Asia session. And then from there, it just started dumping super heavily because they're not exporting to the US right now. Or I mean, they are, but it's starting to decline a lot because there's a lot of tension between the US and China. And that's a bad thing, because if China doesn't export to the US, then obviously costs of things are going to increase, right? So we're not getting cheap material anymore and cheap products and stuff like that as we used to. So it's a domino effect. If you guys, I just have CNBC on my phone. So like whenever breaking news comes out, I get a notification, and it pretty much notified me last night when that China news came out. So the next level right here just got hit, guys, the red one. Thanks, Kenneth, for mentioning. I don't know if anybody caught it, but the next level right there just got hit. I wouldn't go for the blue one yet, because obviously, as I mentioned, go for one level at a time, let price retrace up. And then if it comes back down now, then go for the next level. So again, right here, I would probably just wait for it to come back down for the retest. And then when it does, you can go for that next level down below. But pretty much all the levels here got hit. So we got this level up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 4 levels right here hit already. Candlestick caught another level. Liquidity price is just dumping, yeah. And then if it comes back down to the blue level on the second touch, then you can probably re-enter for another opportunity there. But there goes the full TP right there on the next level of liquidity. I just don't like the way the market's moving right now. It's moving a little too heavy. I'm looking for that retracement. So once I get a buy signal here, I can start looking for a possible opportunity for a sell. But right now, it's just, I'm just going to take it easy until news passes. We have news over here at 7 o'clock, guys. So I'm going to wait for the news to probably pass through. News at 7 is going to be IBD, CIPP, economic optimism, some inflation news right there, medium impact, and we have wholesale inventories right here as well, month over month. We'll see what happens here, because that China news from yesterday really affected the market pretty heavy. I didn't expect it to affect it this much, but it did affect it a lot. So, and today is Trap Tuesday. If you guys are not familiar with Trap Tuesday, it's the day of the week where a lot of traps get set up. So like, for example, down here, you want to be careful with just chasing the sells, because this could be a trap, right? Price can just be dropping and then it could swing right back up. I mean, depending on where retail sentiment is, I don't think that will be the case. I think price will actually continue dropping because sentiment here isn't as strong as it was over the past couple of days. Typically we want it to be above 65%. It's still above that, but this year it's pretty much mixed right now because this was 85% last night. And then you guys can see how long it's changed within the past day. So you can see daily change right here. Shorts are up 11%. So it pretty much changed by 11% since yesterday. Pretty big change in my opinion. So you want to be a little careful with these traps here that are being set up. If you guys have traded long enough, you guys already know how these markets work, specifically on certain days of the week. So we got news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. We do have the retracement momentum signal over here. So with price retracing, we need to have this confirm the retracement. And then once we get a sell signal, so this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the retracement, and then we're looking for price to come back down, and we're looking for it to retrace again and continue down lower. Once we get that, we can take the entry at that point right there, right? So again, guys, just a matter of time. Just be patient, wait for the entries to come in. Once they come in, we can start looking for a possible entry. But right now, it's just a matter of patience. You just got to wait. The buy signal never came up right there. So there's no confirmation of retracement yet. We need that buy signal there to close. Once it closes, we'll start looking for, obviously possible entry. It's gonna be a matter of time until we get that. I think price might consolidate here for a bit until we get to news. Let me go over here to the clean chart. So this is our clean chart right here. I'm going to go to markup structure so that you guys can see where price is moving. It's not really moving too much. It's kind of just, it moved a lot to the downside, and now it's kind of just ranging. All right, so as you guys can see right here, not really too much going on. Price started from this upper level here. So price kind of pushed up, established a high right there, came down, consolidated here a bit, dropped down a little bit. Now it's back in consolidation. So realistically, as you can see right here, price is just going sideways. It's just ranging right there down below. Like I mentioned before, guys, it's just a matter of patience. This is a game of patience trading. You just have to wait for the entries to come to you. There's no entries available right now. So we just got to wait for that to set up. Really what we're looking for here is we're looking for a buy signal. Until we get a buy signal, there's nothing for us to really look at. I'm kind of glad that price is consolidating here and we didn't get a buy signal yet because we do have news here at 7 o'clock. So I actually want this to consolidate a bit until news happens. And then I want price to go up, come down, and continue, right? That's what I want. I want price to go up and down right here. And then I want it to go back up with the buy signal right here. And then I want it to come back down. And then I want that retracement and continuation. Once we get this right here, this type of pattern, you guys can see it kind of looks like a head and shoulders, right? It's like a short-term head and shoulders. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So if you guys look closely, these entries that we're looking for here, they're basically like head and shoulders. If you guys know how to trade patterns, I didn't even really notice that until now. So like looking at this here, so what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the retracement, right? So if we get the retracement right here, I'm looking for price to come back down. It's basically a half arm of the head and shoulders. So this is the head and this is the shoulder. That's basically what I'm looking for. But right here, price is still going back and forth. And this is fine. I don't really care what's going to happen from now until 7. I actually prefer it to go back and forth from now until 7 because I don't want any real direction until the news passes. Because the last thing I want to do is I want price, like the last thing I want for it to happen here is for the entry to come up and then we're at news price over here and we can't enter the trade, right? We just missed the trade because of news. So I personally want price to kind of do some random stuff right now so that once we get past the news over here, we can actually start looking for a possible entry. So yeah, I'm fine with price kind of bouncing around right here so that when it comes time for our actual entry point, we'll be ready to take that entry. See if there's anything else here for us to look at. So that low right there just got broken. That's no longer, we'll just leave it as is for now. And we'll see where it ends up going. That next level of liquidity right here, guys, if you guys took it, it went right through. So there goes that next level of liquidity right there, guys. So pretty much every liquidity that I marked up from this morning, they all got hit. Upper level here, this level here, this level here, this level here. This one right here, as I mentioned, I said if it comes down for the second touch, you guys can take it, which I should have taken it, but I didn't really look at it. I totally missed it. It just crossed my mind that this one here is going to get hit. Now, what you want to look for again here is you want to look for price to kind of retrace it a little bit, consolidate, and then when it gets to this next level, it's probably going to blast right through it again. So, yeah, Randy said another level just hit by too close to news. Yeah, exactly, Randy. I would probably hold off right now. We got news coming up in about 2 minutes. That next level is probably going to get hit. If the news is negative, it's probably going to spike down and blast right through this level of liquidity right here. I'm not going to risk it, but that's probably what's going to happen. And Casey also mentioned that it's at the Friday bottom. Gotcha. Okay. Good to know. So we got news coming up here in about 50 seconds. Once that news passes, we'll see how price reacts to the news. And then from there, we can possibly start looking for an entry. Yeah, exactly. CJ said he was waiting on the 35-170, but too close to news. Yeah, I agree too, CJ. It's probably better to just hold off on it then. He was talking about this upper level right here. He wanted to take that level, but he's waiting for news here to pass, which I would do the same thing. News has been very unpredictable lately. Sometimes the market reacts to it, sometimes it doesn't. From experience, it's better to just sit out and wait for news to pass, see how market reacts to it, and then make your move off that. Because what's going to happen here is you're probably going to see a some unusual movement based off the news, and then after that, price will choose its direction. So we got a news candle right here. It's about to close, and here goes the news candle right over here. I'm going to go and mark that up. Let me just connect these here. So there goes the news candle right there. Color it pink so that you guys know it's news. All right. So there goes the news candle right there. It hadn't really moved too much. I'm looking for that buy signal though. So I'm looking for the buy signal to come up. Once the buy signal comes up, I'm going to look for that sell signal. And then I'm going to look for possible opportunity for entry. The ATR right now is currently at 23. So it's looking pretty good right now. We do have some pretty decent volatility. I just need this buy signal here to close. Once it closes, that can establish and confirm the retracement. Once we confirm the retracement, then we'll look for a sell signal to confirm the continuation. Once we get that continuation to the downside, we look for the retracement and possible entry. So you can see right here, this buy signal is having a really hard time closing. It's been trying to close for like the past, I don't know, 10 minutes now. Ever since price pushed up right here, that buy signal has been pending, and then it disappears. It shows up, disappears, shows up, disappears, etc. It's just a matter of time until this here actually closes through. Let's see, Kenny said on FTMO calendar, there's news at 7:03, but not exactly sure what it is. I'll check for you. Let's see, Kenny, what do we got on the FTMO calendar? So I'm pulling up the FTMO calendar right now, guys. Economic calendar. Where did you see that at? Okay, it's the same thing. So it's the same news that was at 7, Kenny. It was just at a different time. So maybe it got pushed over a little bit. Let me check the calendar real quick. So I think the FTMO calendar is just a little off. It was supposed to be at 7. I mean, the thing with the IBD TIPP economic optimism, it usually doesn't have a set time for it. So it's the same thing, same news event. It's just usually it says tentative. So you can see over here it says tentative for IBD TIPP economic optimism, but the news just came out already. So you can see over here the news is already established. It was negative here on Forex Factory, and then you can see over here is also at 7 o'clock on MyFX book. So same news event. It's just the timing was just not exact on FTMO, but it's the same news event. All right, so that buy signal never came up right there. Again, it's just going to be a matter of us just waiting for this to confirm. Here goes Andreas over here. He took the liquidity push for a sell. Nice work, Andreas. Full TP, total profit of 1,030 for the day. So great work right there. Gotcha. Okay, so Kevin over here was talking about Hanko trade. He said that his Hanko works fine. It's just he doesn't use a copier, so he does it manually. So maybe that might be the case. The only problem with me using no copier is that I can't use the quick trade manager on the FTMO. So that's probably going to defeat the purpose of me using it. But thanks for the heads up, Kevin. If that's the case, then maybe it's just my copier executing late. We got some more profits over here from Andrew. So Andrew locked in a total profit of 885 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. Looks like he probably caught some of those liquidity pushes. So solid work right there. All right, we're still looking for the buy signal here, guys. We don't have the buy signal closed. Another pending buy signal right here on this candle. Let's see if it actually closes. The volatility is still pretty high. The ATR is currently at 21. So I'm hoping that we can get a possible entry right now before the volatility dies down. But we need this here to actually push through. So we need this buy signal here to close. And then we need a continuation of the trend to the downside. So we got 15 seconds left on this candle. We need this buy signal here to close. This is going to be our main catalyst to start looking for a possible entry. If we don't get this buy signal, then nothing happens. We can't start looking for anything. All right, so we got the buy signal here. Perfect. Now we're looking for a sell signal. So we have the buy signal which came up right here. We're looking for the sell signal to confirm the continuation. Then we're looking for a retracement. And then we're looking for a continuation of the drop right here. So, all right, we'll see where this ends up going. Let's see if it ends up pushing up higher, if it just stays, where it's currently at. If it pushes up higher and the price ends up reversing, that's completely fine too. We just have to work with the market. Whatever the market's giving us, we play with it. So let's get a few moments for this to really decide where it's going to go. I personally wouldn't mind if it retraces up a little further, because then that's just going to fake out more people. If it retraces up further, people are probably going to chase the push to the upside, and then price may just come right back down. But it doesn't really matter to me too much. I'm just waiting for a confirmation here. Once we get that confirmation, we can start looking for possibility of continuation. All right, so we got price coming back down right here. I'm expecting a sell signal to come back if this ends up dropping below this buy signal. So if price comes back below this area here, then I would be looking for a sell signal. All right, price is starting to dump right there a little bit. Let's see if we get that sell signal. There we go. So there goes a pending sell signal. It hasn't closed yet, but pending sell signal right there. All right, we need that sell signal to close. Once it closes, we can start looking for the retracement and then possible entry. ATRs are currently at 20 right now, so we still have that decent volatility. It just needs to be above 15 if you guys remember correctly. All right, great. So we've got the pending sell signal here, but we do need it to close. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for price to close with the sell signal, retrace up, and continue down further. Once we get that, we take the entry at that closest level. But we need that sell signal. Until we get that sell signal, there's no opportunity for entry here. You can see price is having it's having problems getting below this sessions right here. This right here, this red line is the London, I'm assuming it's the London low or London high, but basically one of the London high lows. It's having trouble getting past that level right there. All right, so again, we're just waiting. 7:08, so we still have a lot of time. The only thing that I'm mostly worried about is the volatility, because the volatility is currently at 20 right now and it's starting to get lower and lower. If you guys remember the entry from yesterday, there was an entry that we took and the volatility got down to like 13 points, and then the price just ended up going sideways for the entire time. So we had to close out early. That's the main thing that I'm just a little worried about, because I don't want volatility to die down too low. If that's the case, then it's going to be kind of useless for us to take these entries, because we need price to be moving. So it doesn't matter if it's an invalid or valid signal. Like if it closes invalid like this, that's fine. So right here, it's invalid. It still works. So we currently have an invalid sell signal right here. We need price to now drop down below. So we need price to actually push in direction down here. There's no level right here. Okay. So this invalid signal is fine, unless we get another buy signal. So if we get another buy signal, it pretty much cancels out. But we're okay with an invalid signal as long as price drops back down below here. Because if price drops down further, we will have still the opportunity for us to take entry down below here. So this is fine. But if this buy signal here closes, then we got to wait for another sell signal. Or we have to wait for the trend to switch to a buy. All right. So we still have opportunity here. We just got to wait for price to come back down lower. The only thing that will pretty much invalidate the entire setup here would be the buy signal. So one of two things will happen. One thing is price will either come down, retrace, and provide entry for us down here. Or if price provides a buy signal, then it just resets the whole process and we have to look for another sell signal. So just a matter of time, guys, just really being patient here, not getting FOMO, not really jumping the gun, just waiting for the confirmation here to set up. So here we go, as price comes back down, it's completely fine. It's what we're looking for. There we go. Price comes down lower. Price needs to come down lower from where it's currently at. It's still too close to this level here. As you can see, the sell signal is right here and the closest level is right there. It's way too close. We need price to be down here. All right, perfect. So we need price to drop even further. It's still a little too close from where it's currently at. So right here, price is dropping a little more. There we go. As price drops lower, perfect. So if we get a retracement, we need this to close somewhere down here. If this here can close down below, and we have liquidity waiting right there too. So this is it's a confluence, it's a good confluence for us. Yeah, level of liquidity is right there. So it's fine if price retraces from where it's currently at, if it's going to line up with liquidity here. Yeah, Marina said price seems to be ranging. Yeah, it looks like it was, and now it's starting to finally move. Yeah, it's trying to pick up right here. All right, we just need this here to close. Once it closes, we're going to look for that retracement. And then once we get that retracement, we can look for possible entry here. All right, so price is now retracing. We'll see, we need a green candle here. So we need a green candle and we need to confirm whether it closes below this line or above this line. If it closes below, entry is going to be at 50. If it closes above, entry is going to be at 60. So we'll see where this here closes. I mean, if it closes even higher, it's going to be at 70. So we'll see where this here closes. We got about 30 seconds left, or 10 seconds left on it. It's currently at that 50 level, so the entry be at the 60. If not, it's going to be at the 70, a bit higher. It's a little too high right there, so it's got to be at the 70 right there. think I might have been too late for entry. I'm going to have to cancel it. Yeah, it's too late. I got to cancel my order. Fuck me. All right, I canceled my order. So the entry would happen right here. It just happened too quickly, guys. Unfortunately, it hit and then went straight to TP. I don't know if anybody caught it. Vince caught it, it looks like. This thing here it was too quick. So I was waiting for it to close either right here and have my entry at this point, or close right here and have my entry at this point. Unfortunately, it ended up pushing up really high. And then I ended up missing the entire move. It literally it triggered right here. And as soon as it triggered, it went straight to TP. So F me. No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. That sucks because this would have been a perfect entry. This lined up like textbook, right? We had the sell signal here, price came down, retraced up to this point, entry would have happened right here. I was trying to enter right here, but then the candle pushed up too high. And the problem here is that I was trying to set my multiple orders, my multiple grouped orders, and I missed the entire move. But it did hit perfect. You can see right there, it literally came up, triggered the order, and went straight to TP. So CJ caught it, Madhu caught it, James caught it, Vince caught it. Great work, guys. I'm glad you guys profited. It's all good. It happens, right? Sometimes you got to be really fast. You got to be paying attention. I was trying to pay attention, but I'm trying to use a new function here on my copier trader for Tradeovate. And unfortunately, I missed that on the entire move. So it's all good. It is what it is. I'm glad you guys profited on it. I just got to wait for the next entry now. Nice. Johnny caught it for partial. Randy said he didn't catch the pullback, but he caught liquidity. So you guys can see over here that it pretty much lined up with each other, right? There's like two different entries here that came up. So this is the confluence that I was talking about. So I was like, okay, it's cool if price retraces up, which it did right here. And then it came right back down and it blasted right through liquidity. So it's all good. And the next level right there, liquidity just got hit too. Damn, I really didn't get anything. I didn't catch liquidity. I didn't catch. So I wouldn't take this level. I mean, if you guys want to take it, obviously you can, but I personally wouldn't take the level. So guys, just a reminder for these liquidity pushes. Typically, I would only go for one level. So like, for example, here, this level got hit, went straight to TP. This level right here, I would probably wait for retracement. I mean, it already hit. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to be conservative and more safer than, or if you want to be risky. If you want to be risky, yeah, you can take a trade right away, like it just happened right here. But for me personally, I would have waited for retracement and then look for that next touch for price to get through. So it's just really up to preference. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take any trades yet so far. The only trade here that I was okay with taking, it ended up, happening too quickly. So it's all good. But yeah, if you guys have profits to send in, feel free to send them in. I'll add them to the list. And then we will continue on with our analysis. So we got Andreas over here. He caught another trade. He caught the liquidity push. Total profit of 2,090 for the day, all wins. Nice work letting them run to full TP, Andreas. So Andreas let that trade run and he got straight to his full TP. So great work right there, Andreas. Vincent over here as well. Vincent took that same liquidity push, total profit of, or actually it looks like he took the momentum pullback scalp, total profit of 455 for the day. Nice work, Vince. All right, guys, solid work right there. If you guys have more profit to send in, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, I just got to wait for another setup here. Man, that setup was perfect. I was like waiting so patiently for this entry right here, but it's all good. I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here still made money on it. So, I mean, the good thing is that the strategy played out, right? So I think that's like the biggest plus here is that we waited for this analysis. I was just a little too slow with setting my order, but it did play out perfect. So this is just reinforcing our confidence in the position, because we've been applying the strategy for like months now, and it's been pretty solid. So you can see over here, if you just wait for that entry to come to you, like it just did, price came down, retraced, and it was perfect. If I was entering directly on TradingView, I probably would have been able to take the trade because I would have just had my pending order waiting right there, but it's all good. I am on Tradeovate, so it's a little harder when you have to put the order in manually, but it's all good. So now I need to look for another retracement. Hopefully we'll get one before market close. If not, I'm not going to force anything here, right? The main thing with you guys trading is to never force anything. So what I'm looking for here again is I'm looking for the buy signal to retrace up, looking for that sell signal again to push down, retrace, and continue. It's the same pattern. If you guys see this right here, this is literally the pattern that we're looking for. The same pattern that just keeps repeating itself. It just looks like half of a head and shoulders. So there's a head here and a shoulder. But the thing is, in order to identify that, that's why we have the momentum signals here, right? The momentum indicator is really what's timing. It's lining it up for you. So let me see this right here. So if you look up closer, let me just turn off the high-low indicator and the pivots. So see right here, this is exactly what I was mentioning. So price pushed up right here. It retraced down with the sell signal, came back up, and then it came right back down. So the same pattern that I just showed you guys can see here lining it up. And these momentum signals here are pretty much giving you like the pattern. It happened again right here, right? So same thing again right here, price pushed up with the buy signal, retrace. Wait, this is a pretty clear pattern. I'm like wondering if we can just look at this pattern when, yeah, it's because there's another one right here. So like right here, you guys see the pattern right there? It's like a half head and shoulders. Just looking at these two momentum signals. So whenever you have a momentum signal that's kind of near each other, it's a pattern that just, yeah, again, right here, same thing. Buy signal, sell signal, comes down a little bit, retrace. I mean, it's a little messier, but it's an interesting pattern to look at. So maybe in that situation, I can probably even put together another strategy. I'm curious now if that's something that I can look at on the higher time frames. It seems like a higher time frame type strategy too. But you know, I'll save that for another day. Maybe if I go here to the 1 hour. So this is pretty much how I come up with strategies. I just look at patterns on the chart with my indicators, and once I see patterns, I'm able to identify. Yeah, it looks like it works good here on the higher time frames. Push up, retrace. Interesting. Okay, so I'll probably play around with that after the live session today. See if I can find something, because that'd be pretty cool if I can get like a higher time frame type entry just off that specific pattern. That's pretty much how I come up with my strategies. I don't necessarily have a plan when I come up with strategies. I just look at what's happening on the chart and I'm like, okay, it looks like I can make money off this. And then I come up with a strategy, put the requirements in, and that's how I come up with stuff. You just got to be creative, guys. Whenever you guys are trading, you guys just have to be creative and looking for these types of entries. Because the thing is, like, it's not like I learned this from anybody. I learned this from myself. I'm good at looking at charts. I'm good at identifying patterns. You know, literally every strategy I've come up with was just identifying patterns. I'm like, okay, price moves in this way, and then we can enter at this specific point, and we can get in from there. So, all right, let me see. There's still no retracement here, so we're not really missing out on anything here. I'm looking for price to retrace back up. Once we get that, then, you know, possible opportunity for entry, but we need to get a buy signal here first. We need a buy signal to push up, and then same pattern. Marcin is asking, how big of a retracement do you expect to start looking for next entry? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm not looking for any big or small retracement. I'm looking for a buy signal. So the buy signal is going to be the retracement. Buy signal could be small, like it was right here. It can be big, like it was right here. It doesn't have to be any specific size. You just need a buy signal to confirm the retracement. Mars, that's the main thing you're looking for. So you can see over here, I mean, you know, whenever you get, like, you can see price is obviously bearish right here. You can get a small retracement like this right here. You know, the candle's probably super small. Doesn't really matter what type of retracement you're looking for. It can be as small as this, and then when price comes back down, you look for continuation. Or it can be a big retracement like this right here, And it's the same thing. So your price retraces up, you get the sell signal, continuation back down. So you just got to keep it simple. I feel like a lot of people try to overcomplicate it. Like, how big does the retracement need to be? How, like, you just got to follow the criteria. Like, if you look at the requirements, Marcin, it doesn't say anything about like how big the retracement is. It's just, you need, even for the direction. Like, for example, let me just put the requirements for that specific strategy. So my word of advice is to don't try to add anything else to it, right? If I put the requirements up, just follow the requirements as they are. So like, for example, here, identify direction. Doesn't have to be a big direction, just needs to be direction. So direction of momentum, direction of trend. Once you confirm that, you're good. Look for a push in that direction. Doesn't have to be like 100 pips, doesn't have to be 200 pips, doesn't have to be 1,000 pips. It just needs to be a push in that direction. Identify pullback, right? Any type of pullback. It doesn't have to be big, doesn't have to be small, just a pullback. And then, obviously look for entry at that point. So not really much of a big retracement. I mean, whatever the market gives me, I'm going to take it and I'm going to run with it. So there's no like cookie cutter way of looking for these entries here. That's why we have them set at these price points, because it's just easier to look at. So right here, we have a buy signal. It doesn't matter how big this buy signal goes or how far it pushes up. As long as we get that buy signal, it's going to confirm the retracement. So just got to wait for some confirmation here once we get that. And again, right there, no buy signal. So at this point, the retracement still has not confirmed. All right, Maddie. Yeah, Maddie said he caught the B1, played out perfect, and he's now done for the day. Perfect, Maddie. Solid. All right, so Maddie's done for the day. Yeah, smart. So Maddie said he's going to hang out, but he's going to close his accounts out. So that's a smart move. It's a key thing right there with taking entries, guys. If you guys are happy with your profits for the day and you guys are satisfied, just close out your account. You guys can still hang out here in the live session. You can just switch to a demo account, or you can just close out your trading platform altogether. I think the easiest thing to do is just to switch to a demo account, because you can just go down here and switch to paper trading. And then you can keep trading. It just won't be your real account, so you're not going to risk anything. Nice. We caught the V1 as well. KP said retail sentiment is currently at 69. So retail sentiment is dropping very heavily right now. So we might have a shift in market. Market might start coming back down as we go through with the week. Nice. So Rashida said done for the day. She's up 5% on the day, traded London and took liquidity push for today. Nice work, Rashida. That's solid. 5% is good. So I think everybody should be measuring their progress and growth through percentage points, right? Don't measure it by monetary money, because, if you're trying to go for like $1,000 a day, I mean, you can measure it, but I would probably go by percentage points, because if you go by money, you're going to get greedy, right? If you go by percentage points, you're not going to get greedy, because you're like, oh, I'm up 1%, great. I'm up 5%, great. It's not like, oh, I'm up 2,000 and now I want to make another 2,000. I think that makes like it makes a big difference in your trade psychology, unless you're like really able not to get greedy, which I highly doubt anybody's at that level. Because I still get greedy myself. Like I still get FOMO. I've been trading for a long time now, and I still get greedy and I get FOMO in my mind. So like I just look at the percentages, or what I do mainly is I focus on wins. I don't even care about percentages, and I don't care about profit. I just care about winning. So if all you do is you focus on winning, that's your main focus. So like you don't care if you get like partial profit, or if you get full profit, or if you even pull out. Like you don't even pull out early, because you're just waiting for that win to hit. So just keep it in mind. It's just like little tips for you guys to focus on. Like I think the main factor with a lot of people is the profit, because they see a lot and I know this happens to a lot of you guys here. You guys will see that there's like not too many trades coming up, and then you look at me show everybody's profits. Like Johnny over here is up 1,580, right? That's solid. You see 3 wins here, and you're like, man, I haven't had 1 win. I need to get at least 1 to get on a portion of Johnny's level here. For me personally, I haven't even taken any trades. So my account is currently at 0 right now. I haven't taken anything today. I'm not really getting FOMO, because I know the market's going to play with me if I do. So I'm just being a little smart about, my entries here. So, and they're just coming with like, everyone's at a different level of trade psychology. We have Rashida over here, total profit of 456 on her first account. Nice work right there, Rashida. And then we have Rashida's second account over here, total profit of 1,281 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. Great profits across both of your accounts right there. And then her third account over here, she's up a total profit of 913. Nice work right there, Rashida. So solid work right there across the board. Once you guys get to your goal, just wrap it up. You don't have to keep forcing any trades. Like for me personally, if I get one good trade here, then I'm good. I don't need to keep going for more. I think my main focus today was really just trying out this copy trader on Tradeovate. So I don't really care if I get like a crazy move or I get anything like out of the ordinary. I just want to get one trade in or one solid trade to see if this copy trader works. I'm pretty decently up for the week so far, so I'm not really looking to force anything. You guys saw my trading day yesterday. We did pretty good yesterday. So, and it's still early in the week. It's Tuesday. So we still have a whole week ahead of us. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was hoping the market would move a little. I mean, it is moving smooth, but it's not moving consistent as I was anticipating. The volatility is starting to die down here a little bit. You can see the ATR is currently at 19, which was expected. It's getting closer to 8 o'clock, so the volatility is starting to slow down a bit. All right, Maddie, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Kenny said yesterday was a good day, not forcing anything. Yeah, same here, Kenny. I think that's when you start to level up, guys. Like once you're able to think like the way Kenny is thinking right now and the way I'm thinking. So Kenny mentioned, yesterday was a good day and he's not forcing anything today. If you guys can keep your trade psychology in line and you don't feel like you need to have like a great day every day, that's really going to bring you to the next level. Because I'd rather have a day with no trades versus a day with a loss, because then I'm gonna have to make back that loss tomorrow, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. You don't have to trade every single day. I mean, obviously we had a bunch of entries today. I missed out on every single trade. The trade over here, like our official entry, I missed out on that. And then I also missed out on all the liquidity pushes here. There's another level right here too. So as you guys can see, every liquidity that I marked up from this morning, they all got hit. We have this one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 liquidity pushes hit back to back today, all of them full TPs. So if you guys caught any of the trades here, great. This could really mess with somebody. If you guys see 7 trades here and you didn't take one of these trades and we had it marked up and we knew these were going to get hit, this could really mess with some of the trade psychology. For me, I don't really care because as long as you guys profit, that's cool with me. As long as somebody here is profiting at least every day, then I'm cool and I'm content with our trading for the day. If you guys look at all of our, if you guys look back at the, if anybody has a random trading day, if you guys have a random trading day you want me to look at, I think we've gone years without having basically a flat day. Literally every single day for the past, I think, 3 to 5 years now, we've had somebody profit, at least one person. If it wasn't me, it's got to be somebody else in the group. Like, for example, let me see if I can go back over here. So if I go to a random day, let's say last summer, right? Because summer kind of sucks. So a lot of days in the summer, I wouldn't make any profits. Let's go to August 8th, or let's go to August 8th of last year, 2022. So this was a live session from that day. I actually made profit on that day. I made 860. I actually made a lot of profit that day, 2,000 across my accounts. Actually made more that day. And then you can see everyone's profits over here. Kenny profit on that day too. Seth profit on that day. Scotty profit on that day. Mace profit on that day. Eric, there's a lot of people who profited on this specific day last year, August 8th, 2022. It's been solid. Okay, we have a self signal right here. Perfect. Maybe we have a possible entry here, but we got to actually wait for that confirmation. The question I get a lot from people is what keeps me going every year? What keeps me motivated? And I think because for the most part, I'm not really trading for me. I'm trading for all of you guys. So I think me trading for you guys and having to be very on point and consistent with my trading is what made me better and made me a consistent trader overall. Because the thing is, when you guys trade for a purpose, it makes you a better trader. Like as cliche as it sounds, it really does make you a better trader. If you're trading by yourself solo every day, your mind's gonna go in different places. But if I'm trading with you guys here, I can't screw up. If I screw up, that's like my whole image that I'm messing up for you guys. So like whenever I take a trade here, I'm always looking for quality entries because I want you guys to profit just as well as I want myself to profit. So I think that's like one mindset thing that you guys should probably look at. That's a question that somebody asked me recently, like, what can help them be more motivated and more disciplined? And I'm like, the main thing that can help you is to really trade for a purpose. Just don't trade for yourself, trade for your family, trade for your friends, trade for whoever you need to keep you in line. Because if you just trade for yourself, I mean, you guys have done that before. If you guys have traded solo before, you know that it never really lasts. You'll be motivated for like maybe a couple of days, maybe a couple of months, and then you start to slip. But if you guys trade with a purpose, you'll always have that voice behind your head kind of telling you not to screw up. All right, so we have price over here pushing down. I'm looking for price to retrace down from this point and then pushing back up. So I need price to push down below this level, retrace up to this level at minimum, and then continuation down. If I get something like that, I'll look for possible entry here. If not, then we got to wait for another reset of the setup here. Yeah, exactly. So Kenny said a day with no trades is a winning day. Van Harwick said a day with no losses is a winning day. Exactly, yeah, 100%. So I'm not going to force anything here, but if this setup provides me an entry, then I'll look for possible entry right here. There's no more liquidity down below though. So liquidity is pretty much done with for the day, but price may continue to drop lower. All right, so I need price to drop a little lower. It's a little too high right now. Yeah, C6 said retaining capital for a day with higher probabilities is much better than taking entries with a day with lower probabilities. Yeah, I agree with you too. 100% C6. So I'm not forcing anything here. I'm just waiting for this to come down. If this doesn't come down, then no entry. Volatility right now is starting to slow down a bit. You can see the ATR is currently at 17. If it gets below 15 or if it even gets to 15, I'm probably just going to sit out because we need price to actually be moving here for possible entry. So just got to sit tight and wait for entry here. All right, we got the drop right here. Then we look for the retracement to the 90 mark. All right, we need it to stay below. If it doesn't stay below, then yeah, that's not going to help. We needed it to close down here. If it didn't close down here, there's not going to be any opportunity for entry because we need the retracement to happen right here. All right, so unfortunately, this candle here did not close below like we were anticipating. And now we still have to wait for that to drop lower again. Not really liking how the candles are starting to move, as you guys can see over here. The candles are starting to get a little tighter. It looks like it's starting to squeeze here a bit. Let's go here to the clean chart. Let me go market structure so that you guys can see things better. All right, so price is pretty much just ranging right here. It's been ranging for a while, actually. So you guys can see price came below, retrace. I hate this tool. It does that. So yeah, anyways, price came down below here. And it's not really doing too much. All right, so we had price close below here. If this green candle closes, it's got to close like not passing this line. If that's the case, then there's still possible opportunity for entry right here. But if not, I mean, it's going to be a tough entry because it's going to be so close to that level right there. We got about 20 seconds left. Yeah, it's not looking like we're gonna get an entry at this point because it looks like it's gonna close above the line right there. If it closes above the 50, obviously no entry. It's gonna have to close below it, but it's gonna have to be a really small candle for that to really be the case. All right, this is a little better. We got 50 seconds here. ATR is currently at 17. Entry could still happen right there at the 90 mark. If it closes below, we've got about 30 seconds left on this candle. Again, guys, I'm not going to force anything, so it's going to close below there. It's going to be a clean close. And it does not look like we're going to get that clean close here. Yeah, definitely not. This is way too far up. Yeah, there's no way we're going to get that close. All right, so no entry there. Yeah, Randy said I'd be more comfortable if price broke below the last lower low and gave us a retracement there. Yeah, same here, Randy. I mean, the lower the better, right? Because if price dropped any lower, then we'd have opportunity for entry right here or right here, these two levels right here, right? But it never really dropped that low. And then this retracement right here is just too heavy, so there's no opportunity. If this closed below at this point, I could have entered right there, and then we could have wrote it down. But luckily it didn't, because then we get caught in the spike to the upside, right? So unfortunately, no entry there, guys. I mean, it looks like we might have to wait for another reset, but the volatility is starting to die down quite a bit. It's now currently at 17, 18 actually. And we'll see what happens here. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Unfortunately, I have a flat account for today. I don't have any profits, but I'm fine with it. I'm not really too stressed out of it. So we're doing pretty good for the week so far. Monday was a really good day for us. So last thing we want to do is force anything and get caught in some bad positions. So if anything, I'm still looking for the retracement here. So again, we still have opportunity here. The buy signal never came up, so we can still get the retracement lower, and then possible entry point at some point over here, right? But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. 7:41 right now. We got about 20 minutes till 8. I'm not really expecting too much to happen from now until 8. So if there's anything that you want me to cover, anything in review, just let me know. There's no liquidity left off here. Everything's pretty much knocked out for the day. So there's no more liquidity for this live session, I guess. And then on top of that, there's not really much volatility either. So no more liquidity, there's no more entries here to look for, and then low volatility is starting to die down. So if there's no volatility, we're probably not getting any entry here by 8 o'clock. I mean, we might, so I'll keep looking, but it's not really looking like it right now specifically. Let's see, Kevin's asking, I was just wondering about the V1 at 723. I didn't take it because of the overall bias is bearish. Are there times you would go against that? No, never, Kevin. For me personally, I would never, because I think that's too much of a gamble. It's kind of like standing in front of a moving train, right? Like praying that it'll stop, or like having your car parked in between like at a railroad crossing and just hoping that it's going to stop, right? It's just too it's like playing chicken, right? It's too much of a risk, because if you're doing that, you're really not thinking, like you're not really thinking, right? You're kind of just going off emotion. Because if you're like, for example, if you said the one at 723, this is the one you're talking about, right? I think this is the same one that Maddie took. um Maddie said that it bounced off his supply zone, so we had another confluence indicating that, this will probably bounce off it. So he had an understanding that the bounce might happen. But for me personally, there's no way I would take this right here. Like, there's no way, unless retail sentiment was like 80% short. Like, if this was like 90% short and I knew price was going to bounce in that situation, then yeah, I would take it. But retail sentiment over here was like at 70% or something like that. So the thing is, if you're using my analysis, there's like no reason for you to take a buy there at all. Maddie over here, he had a supply zone marked up right there. I personally don't like supply and demand, so like it's just up to the person, right? It works until it doesn't. Like, it seems like a good idea when it hits, but when it doesn't, you're gonna be so mad at yourself because you're like, oh, there's literally no other reason for you to take that there. The only confluence that I think Maddie had was the supply zone, which it does work sometimes, but a lot of times it doesn't. It'll just break right through, especially if the bias here was so strong. Like, for example, here the trend is like, it was way too strong for a sell. Like, trend here was all for a sell. Fundamentals here were for a sell. Retail sentiment was for a buy here, slightly, not very strong. But yeah, like maybe if the fundamentals here were bullish, like if this was like up 100 points or 200 points, and then this here was like 80% short, and then just the technicals here were bearish, then okay, in that situation, I would maybe look for possible buy, right? Because your overall bias would still be a buy. But right here, this is like, the only thing that I would probably maybe look at was the overextension, because obviously this price here was overextended, right? 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. It's been dropping for a while. So if you look over here on the 1 hour time frame, I think this is probably the best markup that you could look at. It's been a red candle since 1 o'clock this morning. So since 1 o'clock this morning, price has been dropping with no actual retracement, about 4,000 pips. So yeah, in this situation right here, I'm like, okay, this would be a confluence. Price is overextended. Maybe you can catch, a retracement, especially if it's only for 100 pips. That would help you identify it. But for me personally, I just wouldn't take the risk, right? And that's what makes me consistent, because I stick to the game plan. I don't necessarily go off, and just because I see one confluence, it doesn't kind of make me want to take a different trade. So yeah, I mean, everybody has their own trading style, but for me, it's like I'm so disciplined where I just stick to my game plan. Like, I don't necessarily look at one little thing and then say, okay, this could maybe go in that direction. I only take a trade if I know for sure it's going to go in that direction. That's why we have such a high win rate here, because I don't really take risky trades like that. So yeah, if you guys have an analysis that tells you to take a different trade against like what I'm looking for, that's completely fine, right? There's no wrong way to trade. Whether you want to trade patterns, supply and demand, support resistance, etc. There's like thousands of ways to trade out there. So it's just up to you. Like, stick to what you're good at trading, and stick to your trading plan. Like, if supply and demand is part of your trading plan, add that in. But for me, it's not part of mine, so it's not something I would necessarily follow specifically. Other than that, let's see. Yeah, other than that, actually, let's see. Kenneth said he messed up today. Yeah, so Kenneth here, he made a mistake. So he said he messed up and he had his profits wiped out today. So Kenneth was actually up today. He was up 1,380. He ended up taking a bad trade here. He locked in, and he's still in profit 55 for the day. But unfortunately, yeah, it kind of wiped out his profits. Yeah, Kenneth said it could be worse. So we'll just take today as a no trade day. So Kenneth made some profit initially, and then he lost it all on the next trade. So he's basically at break even for the day. So it's all good, Kenneth. At least you got back to break even versus having a loss there. Randy over here locked in a total profit of 990 for the day. So nice work right here, Randy. Looks like Randy took the initial buy over here for the liquidity push at 630, and then he took the sell over here, total profit of 990 in total. So great work right there, Randy, with your profits. See, we got Barack over here. Hey, what's up, Barack? Brock just messaged me right now. Yeah, I'm curious to see who took buys here. So if you look over here at everyone's profits for the day, nobody took any buys here. KP. So Kenneth over here took the sells for liquidity. Maddie here took a buy. I think he took that V1 variation. I mean, thankfully it worked out for him, but you know, for me personally, I think that's a little too risky. Like Andreas over here took the sell. Pretty sure Andrew over here took the sell as well. Andreas took more sells right there. Vincent took the sell. Johnny took all sells. So as you guys can see, if you guys trade in the direction of bias, typically your trade's going to hit. It's going to hit. As long as you stick to the game plan, it's going to hit. I don't think anybody else here took any buys except for Randy, which he took the liquidity on open. This one up here. That's the only buy that I would be okay with taking because it's liquidity. Plus sentiment was very high at that time. All right, so there's still no opportunity for entry here. We have a sell signal right here. So let's see if this, I mean, the volatility is very low though. So volatility is currently at 16 right now. Price is below here. What we would need here is we would need price to continue dropping, retrace and continue lower, right? And that's where you'd make your entry. But it doesn't look like we're gonna have that. Volatility here is very low. It's currently at 16 right now. So anything below 15 is just not worth taking. It's just going to be way too low. Let's see, we got some more profits over here from Manelli. Yeah, Nelly over here took all sells today. Great decision, right? Trade in the direction of bias. Total profit of 1,239 for the day. Nice work, Nelly. Yeah, so like what I was mentioning earlier too, KP, like I feel like that's a bad habit, right? If you're going to go against your bias, you either trade with bias or you don't. And then if you don't, I would just stick to that style of trading for the day. You don't always have to trade bias, but I feel like if you guys are trading bias, stick to the bias. And if you're not, then, or if you're trading trend, like for example, here for these high-level momentum scalps, or these, these momentum pullback scalps, we don't really trade in the direction of bias. We trade in the direction of trend. So that's why for me, I stick to one strategy. I look for trend and momentum, and I trade in that direction. Right here, we have a current buy signal that's running. The trend meter is starting to turn blue and price is starting to cross above the pivots. With this right here, this may be possible opportunity for price to continue pushing up and provide opportunities for a buy now. I'm probably not going to be looking for that because I'm going to cut out at 8 o'clock because that's my trading plan. But if you guys do decide to trade after 8 o'clock, you know, if this decides to shift to the upside, you can start looking for some possible buys there. See. So Barack said, bro, I'm struggling to get playback on YouTube. Is it a connection issue on your side or the stream has issues? Let me see. Wait for this ad to finish. Yeah, the YouTube stream looks fine. All right, some CC posted his profits, but deleted it. All right, so price is coming back down right here. The volatility is starting to pick up a little bit. So we'll see if this here allows us to take maybe one more entry. Let's see. Volatility is back at 18. So we'll see if this here provides a sell signal. If it provides a sell signal and price drops, you know, somewhere down this area right here, the trend meter will probably turn red. And then from there, possible entry. But I think we have news coming up right here too. So we have news at 8:30. It's not high impact, it's low impact news. It's a bill auction, I believe. Yeah, it is the 52-week bill auction. And then total household debt for Q2 at 9 o'clock. Yeah, not really expecting anything here. Looked like price was going to drop here and then it ended up just consolidating. So you guys can see right here, there's just not very much direction. Price is just going sideways. It was ranging down below here, and then now it's pushed up to here. Now it'll probably just range around here now. All right, it's getting closer to 8 o'clock, guys. If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat now, and then we'll answer whatever questions you guys have. Otherwise, it's not really looking like we're gonna have anything to take now. Volatility is starting to die down. It looked like it picked up a little bit right here off this red candle because the volatility ATR went back to 18, but then it is now back to being flat again. So. And now it's back down to 17. So I'm not really expecting this to pick up or really provide any entries for us here. There's no confirmation of trend yet. Trend meter is still blue. In order for it to turn green, I think price needs to be somewhere above here. And in order for it to turn red, I think price needs to be somewhere down below here. But I'm not really expecting any of this to happen within the next 5 minutes. So I think we might just wrap this up. Shiv said, thanks for today. See you tomorrow. Definitely, Shiv. Yeah, there's just nothing for us to take here right now. I don't think price is going to push up here in the next 5 minutes or so. So I think it's best to just wrap it up. Consider today a no trade day for me personally. No official trade today, of course. I mean, there's a lot of entries over here that I could have taken and maybe counted as an official entry, but I'm not going to count any of them. The only official entries are the ones that I take myself personally. So I want to be 100% transparent with you guys, right? There's a bunch of entries here that came up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries, plus the entry that happened over here that I missed. So there's about 8 entries that came up today. But even though 8 entries came up, I'm going to count 0 entries because I didn't take any of them. My accounts are pretty much flat right now. And I'll just carry on tomorrow. So, all right, guys, other than that, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, Sean@KodiKaiTrades.com. Again, if you guys are new here and you guys just want to follow us here on the YouTube, just go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades. Make sure that you turn on notifications and subscribe because I don't always send out the link for these live streams. So you can see right here that it's live. Today I did send out the link, but not every day I send out the link. So if you guys have this turned on, YouTube will email you whenever I go live, whether it be for a mentoring session, a live session, etc. It'll give you an update and it'll send you an email whenever I go live, pretty much throughout the day. So we have a pending sell signal right here, but again, volatility is still very low and there's no red trend meter down here. So I don't really have a strong confirmation of direction or opportunity for entry here. So if you guys don't have to trade, I would just sit out. Otherwise, you might be putting yourself into some unnecessary risk when you should just be chilling until tomorrow. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, reach out. Otherwise,